Music. The wonderful world of music. That combination of notes put together to make a pattern, that song that gets stuck in your head 5 times a day, and that favourite tune that gets you up and dancing. We all love music. But music is more than just fun to listen to. In fact, it can actually help improve your mental and physical well-being and improve your health. So, how does it affect our brains and our bodies? Well, did you know that listening to music can reduce anxiety, blood pressure and pain, as well as improve sleep quality, mood and memory? For example, when you listen to music, a chemical is triggered and released called dopamine, and that's the chemical that makes you feel happy. As well as that, listening to music can help improve immunity-boosting antibodies and cells that help protect against bacteria and other germs that make you sick. But experts are also trying to understand how our brains can hear and play music as well. An example of music tapping into our brains, vibrations travel through the air and somehow get inside the ear canal. These vibrations tickle the eardrum and are transmitted into electrical signals that travel through the auditory nerve to the brainstem, where it is reassembled as the thing we hear as music. An example of music tapping into our brains, but don't worry about having your mind read by a clarinet, or at least not yet, is a song called Weightless by Marconi Union. According to MindLab International, the power of the song is mind-blowing compared to any other song they have ever tested. Weightless includes a 65% reduction in anxiety and a 35% reduction in heartbeat rates. The song has a sustaining rhythm that starts at 60 beats per minute and slowly slows down to around 50 beats per minute. The listener's heartbeat will naturally slow down to match the track's BPM, beats per minute. So, as well as improving mood in pets, and in humans, it can also improve your mood in pets, big and small. Researchers from Colorado State University monitored the behaviour of 117 kennelled dogs. The researchers played a few different types of music to the dogs, including classical, heavy metal, and an altered type of classical, and then no music at all. They found that the dogs actually fell asleep when classical music was played. Not surprising given that it makes me fall asleep. And the dogs had the opposite reaction to the metal music, which increased their body shaking, which is a sign of nervousness. So cats either don't care about music, which is highly likely as I have 3 of them, or they're not that affected by music. I'd vote the first one. Or that was until Charles Snowdon, David Tye and Megan Savage created a new genre of music, cat music. The music is good for cats because it contains frequencies and tempos similar to the ones cats use to communicate. Now for the big animals. Cows produce more milk when they're listening to relaxing music. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. In 2001, researchers played various songs to 1,000 strong herds of dairy cows. Over 9 weeks, the researchers alternated between fast music, slow music, and silence for 12 hours a day. They found that calming music, like R.E.M's Everybody Hurts, actually made the cows produce 3% more milk. That's 0.73 more litres each. The cows were not so into songs like Size of a Cow, and I don't blame them personally, because shame on you, Wonderstuff, for writing such an offensive song. So, growing stronger plants. Research has shown that sound has the ability to stimulate plant growth. In one study, plants that were exposed to sounds for 6 hours a day showed more plant growth than plants in soundless environments. However, that same research showed that while music helped the plants grow, it wasn't more effective than non-musical sounds. In other words, the plants didn't distinguish between music and other sounds. However, it still helped them grow. So, if you learn an instrument, you probably think that the only thing you're learning to play is the instrument. But amazingly, you're also improving the way you learn and improving your memory. So if your memory isn't that great, maybe you should consider taking up an instrument. So I've talked a lot about the positives. I thought I should at least tell you one negative. And that negative is that according to a recent study by McMaster's Department of Psychology in Canada, a growing percentage of teens are establishing risky listening habits because of blasting music through earphones into the ear. About 1/4 of the 170 kids surveyed for the study were experienced the symptoms of early onset tinnitus, a chronic and unceasing ringing in the ears that ordinarily doesn't appear in adults until after the age of 50. Although it can be temporary, like after a particularly loud concert, the type that was found in these kids which is sensitivity to loud noise, as reported by the kids in the study, is a sign of auditory nerve damage and therefore likely to lead to permanent hearing damage down the road. So this negative can easily be avoided if the world starts to turn the volume down. So music is amazing when it comes to humans, and you could even go as far as saying all living things. So I suggest that we all listen to a little more music so there's a big change in the world.